Hi everyone, this is Dawn here, Twin Hearts Ablaze. Thanks for being here. I trust that you are doing well. It is October the 5th today, and I just was guided to do a quick check-in here. I don't have anything planned. I just want to talk for just a few moments about awarenesses that I've been having, just share heart to heart with you a bit without again, really any planning whatsoever. I just turned on the video camera, so here I am. And I think what I'd like to start with is just joy, the idea of joy, the simple um, joy that is underneath all of it, all the time, right there, waiting to be discovered in every moment. And in times when there are significant global disturbances, events, whether those be weather-related events such as the recent hurricanes, or whether those be man-made um, disasters. Remember the meaning of the word disaster. Disaster, to be separated from the stars, and the star being our soul's truth and radiance. And so when all of this is happening, it can be for many of us give us pause, like, we can, want to kind of keep the joy under wraps, or, keep it quiet because we don't want to appear as being non-sensitive. And I think that's where I want to start this, is by saying that when we tap into the joy of oneness with Source, Creator, God, and when we allow ourselves to experience the joy of every moment and the joy that is to be found in every moment, even those moments of great pain and suffering and other sorts of unwelcome, at first, naturally from our human perspective, unwelcome events. Changes in our lives. For example, the transition of others, whether those be family members and or close friends, or on a mass scale, due to one event or another. It can be easy, I guess what I'm saying is, to want to just turn down the notch a bit on the joy and keep it under wraps. And what I'd like to share with you is that while that is a natural tendency, and while it is true that others, you could open yourself up to judgment from others if you truly allow yourselves to experience that, the truth is that that is the healing. That is the path to our own peace, that peace that passes understanding. And it is the way to open up to receive more and more and more light and love here on this planet that we share together. And so there is never a time when we are not meant to experience life and life to the full. And what I am discovering more and more is that it is true that joy is our natural state. Think back to when you were a child, and for some of us, and myself included, we have to really, it's not sometimes difficult to find those moments, right? If we didn't experience our childhood. No, this doesn't mean that our childhood was bad. I actually grew up in a family where I had many privileges and was loved even when I did not feel loved, and was safe, and had so many outwardly things that were in place for me. And yet inwardly, because of various experiences on a soul level, and also my physical experiences, it was difficult to understand. Like, it's difficult now for me to reach back and find, like some moment of joy to grasp onto. But most of us can find at least one or two moments of, that childlike wonder and joy. And when there was no agenda, we were simply in the moment there. And more, as I have allowed myself to live in that way, I have really come to understand that that is the point. And like, so I talk a lot in my the work that I do in the world and the writing that I do about life, meaning living in full expression, and the joy and purpose and meaning and peace and love that is at the very foundation of that, the light and the life and the love you are. Um, and and yet, even though I have understood these concepts and lived them in many ways, what I'm discovering more and more is that the joy that is right there, it is one with the very life we are. Um, it is it is that river of life that is joy, and it is meant to be experienced along the way. Um, Through all that may occur in our reality here, and it is meant to be shared. And so I would just encourage you, whatever's happening in your world, to find those moments of joy and allow yourself to feel them fully and to express them. Um, and to share them, and to never doubt that just your willingness to be present to that is making a difference. And so, a lot of times it can feel like, we need to um, get into mission. So never dim your light, and tone down your joy because you think somehow that your somberness or seriousness is required. Um, and I think that's all I wanted to say about joy. The other thing that's been really really present for me recently is the experience. It's all about the experience today, and really right now in my life, it's about presence and experience. And the other thing that's been very up for me, both in terms of dream space and just every day, is feeling a tremendous union, and a sense of belonging to within, like that inner union, and union with my sacred partner in a way that is uh, I'm unaccustomed, I would say, to experiencing it. So typically for me, that has been, that connection, and used to refer to that as the 5D connection, the spiritual union, which was always pretty strong for me, my experience of it. But it was like the two of us, whatever we were doing, off doing whatever we were doing in the higher realms, and dialoguing, and that sort of thing. And then the moments of, the dream space connection kind of thing, of course. But this, what I've been experiencing the last week or two, I think, has been on a different level. It's as if there truly were no possible separation. There's no more coming and going. There's no more. There's no more. I've definitely felt a up leveling of that deep, deep connection and bond that is. It's not even a bond anymore. It's like one, one, and so that has been just an amazing experience of late for me. Okay, so joy, union, and I think that the third thing, like, good to talk about things in threes. I will be back, by the way, to make a more well thought out video. Actually, I don't want to promise that. I think I'll be back, but I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the time when I'm led to do that, and I do. So the third, this leads to the third thing I'm going to talk about, which is a truly beautiful opportunity for many of us that is very present to re uh, I was going to say reinvent, but it's more than that. It's really to renegotiate the way that we move through this reality. And or because I'll speak for myself, but I think this is happening for many of us, and I know it is for a few of you out there. But for me, it's as if there's always been the choice of what I do in any given circumstance. And now there is sort of an up leveling of that, as in a much more defined leadership role in terms of course, my own journey, but also this where do we all want this to go? And it's been like a a new wider, broader menu, but also like you're in a whole new um, you have endless choices upon choices, and you can surprise yourself. I have surprised myself recently with some of the choices that I have been led to make, and that may have seemed to me at one point, even a year or two ago, to be completely nuts and counterintuitive, and like I was taking a left turn, or you know, and chucking this or whatever else. But I know for me that that is not it is not a reactive choosing or choice. It is a furthering, a deepening of my own journey. And there is a new level of trust in that, and a much more seamless, sort of flow, and the invitation to me and to all of us to really, really step up and be that um, that leader in our lives, and have confidence and trust in life, and step forward the next step of our own journey. So I know this has been a short video and just a little heart to heart, talk about joy and union and trust in life, and really being willing to make the choices that are right for you, and to trust that, and to not the other thing I would say is, not let someone else put their meaning or interpretation onto that. There are plenty of people that, whether they're making videos or that are just in your life, who will tell you, well, that would mean XYZ. And that's their interpretation. And it may or may not be accurate. So, consider it certainly, but always trust your knowing. And I'm just very excited about as we move into the middle of October. September was September, man. That was an interesting month. And, lots of really, really great openings occurring right now, and continued healing, and a return to the whole of who we are. So I wish you well until my next video. Much love to you all, and see you soon. Bye.